right. Oh, Fala's got it back again here. Waiting to get back into the game. Jalil.
At least you can't get back on the pitch at the moment. The player's just left for treatment. I must say, Mboli looks the calmest person on the pitch. Made some good saves first half.
There's Nakonga. Here's Furman. Into Brahimi. In the second half, he certainly hasn't appeared to have been in advanced midfield position as often as he was in the first half. The player, of course, he began as a youth player at Chelsea.
Yeah, it looks like they've gone to a little bit more of a defensive lineup with Furman in front of the two centre-halves. Been more of a holding midfield player now.
Brahimi into Taylor. Back to Alice. Looking for Feghouli and Mandy. And Feghouli, can he sweep one in here? Belfodil, no, he can't.
They've got to keep playing on the front foot, though, South Africa. They've got to keep putting pressure on the Algerian players whenever, wherever an Algerian player is in possession of the ball. You've got to pressurise them. Go man for man, really stand on top of them.
His army wanted that ball played early. Ghulam keeping an eye on the movement of the shadow just on his shoulder. This is Furman. Into Fala. There's that Nakongo down there. He's moved back cross field as Nalepo is back there where he should have been. There's Fala. Again, lots of runners, but a lot now left in advance of the ball, and they've got to get back here.
Yeah, they're just trying to play in front of the back four, then South Africa, rather than playing in behind the back four like they were doing at the start of the second half.
There's Jalil. Into Fala. Head up by Bentaleb. There's Brahimi, a few of the tricks coming out now. There's the turn from Slimani, looking for Feghouli to get forward on the overlap. Mani Issa is back over on the left side of midfield. Maybe thinking about a time to make a change or two in South Africa just to get a few fresh legs on. Belfodil. And Dulula is coming in then for Ranti. Well, you feel sorry for him, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, he's had one of those days in front of goal. Got an opportunity now.
And Dulula. Well, 18 home-based players. South Africans as that comes in. Just 2 home-based players for the Algerians. It's ironic because the South Africans have one of the 3 African managers here as well. The flag's up. And the temptation always to look overseas. Dulula, the forward then from Amazulu. 8th appearance for him in the national team jersey. Vilakazi and Dulula waiting for some service. Vilakazi is in there. Held up though this time. Taylor back doing the defend.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Good defending by Taylor as well, Tim, there. One-on-one, important that he won the ball clean.
Fala with his arm raised as he held on Vilakazi too long. Yeah, they're doubling up now on some of these as they approach the edge of the penalty area. Belfodil, Slimani is through the middle. Again, just trying to make sure he stays onside there.
Well, Slimani's looking to make a run forward, you know, looking like he wants to score a goal. At the moment, all Algeria have to do is keep possession of the ball.
2 minutes to go here. Slimani is in here. They can get that to drop, which they couldn't. Lachueo, the unfortunate defender. 9 is Belfodil. Taken out by Furman. Bentaleb to Belfodil. Slips one challenge. Belfodil into Slimani. Slimani, a great ball by him, and Laba getting it clear. One in the air by Menjani, only as far as Brahimi here. Brahimi, little flick in here to Slimani. Might fancy a go from distance, not this time. 19 is Teder. Going to dominate possession and hold the ball here. South Africa just looking like they're beginning to wilt a bit after the exertions of the 81 minutes they played here.
Well, this is where the experience counts in the Algerian side.
There's Belfodil.
You know, the Algerian players are experienced enough, clever enough to be able to cope with just trying to keep possession for the next 10 minutes. They can find the free man, they can bounce the ball around off each other. South Africa really do have to more or less go man for man and make sure everybody's pressing an opponent. If you're not marking an opponent, Algeria are good enough to find that spare man and keep possession of the ball.
Great balance played there by Brahimi into Feghouli.
Yeah, spare man. Spare man. Find the spare man all the time now.
Teder. Down the line, looking here. Hold possession again is Slimani. Great bit of footwork that was by Mani Issa, but they've lost out again here. And the first time shot, he squeezed it in. Slimani has had so few chances here today, and we've been praising the goalkeeper for some of the saves, the way he commanded his area in the first half. But there's a question mark over the last goal, and there's certainly a question mark over that. And Algeria 3-1 up, and they've seen South Africa off here now.
Well, now you can't help but blame him for this poor piece of goalkeeping. He's gone under his body, right under his hip, and because he's made one mistake, people will now be saying, you know, should he have done better on the second goal, the own goal, which has really put them on the back foot. He's just gone down too early for this. I think it was just, I suppose you can't save it with your hands like that. You know, technically a bad attempt at making the save. You've got to have your body down behind the ball first.
Well, Shakes Machado is going to get off this coach and shut his hotel room door tonight and sit down and wonder just how they have lost this game by 3-1. It might not be just yet. We've still got a few minutes left to play here. But it's been a gift of a victory here. Slimani was the unfortunate player, remembering in that game against Germany, which went to extra time. He thought he'd scored with a headed goal, which was given offside, but he had a successful World Cup. Goals against South Korea and against Russia. He's at his Nations Cup account here tonight as well. And they're not finished yet here either. There's going to be a corner kick.
Well, you look at the scoreline and you think it's been one-way traffic, 3-1 to Algeria, but a very exciting performance from South Africa. Good young players, play some very attractive, positive football early on. A couple of mistakes at the back has cost him dearly.
Zango is on for Vilakazi. Well, that's better from Keat. South African ball. Jali, rather.
They can play as deep as they like now, Algeria.
Inside the final 5 minutes here. There's Mani Issa. Well, one thing is for sure, they're not going to be able to play like they did in the first half, or play like they did for the majority of this game, Algeria, and roll on and win the Nations Cup.
No, I think they've had a bit of a wake-up call, Tim. You know, South Africa can scare them like this, that'll make them realise anybody can give them a problem here and there.
Group D kicks off tomorrow. You can see the games both live and exclusive. And Slimani, that was a poor touch from Slimani. Goal of the game was Ghulam's, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, it's a very important position nowadays in the modern game, Tim. Full-backs have to get up, they have to be able to defend, they have to be able to add a presence when you're attacking. You have to be good in the air, you have to defend your far post, you have to be good on the ball, good defender. You've got to be a good player to be a good full-back these days.
Yeah, looking for Fala. Brings a bit of realism around the camp in South Africa. Yeah, they are a potentially good quality team. Are they ready to win this championship? Not really, not at this stage of their development. That's not to say they cannot still get out of this group. Good ball into Vala again. And Ndulula was waiting, haven't seen anything of him yet, hasn't really been served up a chance in the game so far. There's Vala going short. Vala again, they've got a healthy contingent waiting in there for a delivery. And that was a clearance from the head of Haliche. This is the substitute, Mazango. There's Furman. It's again another superb ball. There's Vala, should be too close to Mbola. Well, Mbola taking no chances. Mboli rather putting behind for the corner.
Yeah, that should be no problem. I mean, the keeper's 6 foot odd. Tidy, you see there's 6 foot. Alice 6'2", 6'3". Ghulam 6'2", 6'3". They've got about 5 players there in excess of 6 foot. Should defend these set pieces quite comfortably.
And Ndulula's on the near post. And he really attacking it. Furman got on the end of it.
That's a clearance.
Should be 3 minutes or so of additional time here to cover the substitutions, of which we're going to get another one here. It's going to be Hilal Sudani who's going to be coming on, the Dynamo Zagreb forward. The crowd drifting away. They've seen a really good game here. Free kick goes to Algeria.
So Senegal are the next opponents for South Africa. They'll need to get something out of that game, Tim.
Well, it was always the toughest looking group. Here comes the change here. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Brahimi who's going to come off? Sudani is in. Not in any great rush. Well, seen a lot of the ball, Brahimi. Perhaps the most active of the forward players here tonight. Taken out of play by Teda. Keats.
Long periods of the game where Keats in the South Africa goal hasn't had much to do at all.
They've just lost their way. 4 additional minutes here. And if you missed the earlier games here today, then do stay with us, because we will round up those. We'll be hearing from Moussa Sarr, and we'll have a word with Avram Grant, the Ghana coach. Got a come back. This is Nolapo. They end on something of a high. Vala, Nolapo again. All of a sudden, there's an energy at the back that they didn't have, certainly at the start of the second half when South Africa were in dominant mood. There's a Furman. Is it going to be offside? It would have been a touch.
Just shows you how important it is to capitalise when you're dominating a game like South Africa were. Yeah, they got the one goal, got the penalty. You got to put that one in the back of the net. You 2-0 up. Not saying that they would have gone on to win 2-0, but I don't think we'd be looking at the scoreline as we're looking now.
Is Jali into Furman. Lachueo. This is Nakonga. And that'll go at. As he said, don't forget, tomorrow it is Group D, first match of the day. 3:45 UK time. It is Ivory Coast against Guinea, and that'll be followed by Mali, who were comprehensively beaten by South Africa, up against Cameroon. Back in the finals, Cameroon. Both those games live on Eurosport tomorrow. Going to be a bit of a stretch there. Well, there are plenty of reasons to be confident about the times to come for South Africa if they can build on the good points from this game, of which there have been many. In particular, Jali's passing has been one of them. Yeah. And Delula, now he's in space here. They've just delayed. That surely looked like a free kick there. Now, Slimani is in advance here. If they lit it through, Sudani was through on goal into the final minute of the game here. This is Belfodil into Taider. At 20 is Mandi. Taider.
I think you'd have to say, Tim, that the future looks bright, though, for South African international football. Good young squad of players here. A lot of talent, a lot of pace, a lot of energy.
Nolapo. They can still make these runs, these sprints from deep, and that is going to be the last piece of action of the game. And Algeria, what a big, big relief here. 0-0 at half-time. We've had 4 goals, a missed penalty. Perhaps South Africa should have had a penalty inside the first half. They should have taken advantage of some of the chances that they did create. The big talking point, of course, is whether Mandi should have been sent off. Majaba offers the hand of friendship there, but he will be seething inside that his team couldn't build on the 1-0 lead they took from Fala. Ranti missed a penalty, and then that was it. A goal from Lachueo. And then it all ended with Gulam, with that fine goal from him, and Slimani, who made it 3-1 in Algeria's favour. Wow, what a second half.
Fantastic. Some very, very good football. Algeria got lucky tonight. South Africa unlucky. You know, they got the penalty. All right, hit the crossbar, missed a penalty. That's not luck really, but Algeria had the breaks when they needed it to get them back into the game.
It was the single biggest turning point in the game, because if it is 2-0, I mean, Algeria are virtually